Please give a warm welcome to my good friend and our presenter, John Pyron. He has sworn off whiskey since he does that with me, by the way. John, thank you.
And nice bourbon and a cigar. Can't beat that. So, make sure my stuff is there.
Oh, I'm sorry, John. I looked and I realized I missed that. I was looking over it. I'm sorry. We're going to grapple up the book at the end. John, my apologies.
No, that's okay.
I'm going to pass this, put your business card in it, pass it up and down the aisle, and we'll do one more check for business cards and wrap it up at the end. Thank you very much. Sorry, John.
Why don't we just raffle off the Rita's ice cream thing?
There's two things, the book and the ice cream.
No, this is actually a very excellent book. So, if you've never read this book, whether you win it or not, go out and get this book. Okay. Let me ask you a question. How many of you have lead generation systems in place? How many of you are getting just an enormous amount of qualified leads? In fact, so many leads out of those systems that you possibly can't get anymore. You don't even have enough time to follow up on the ones that you have. How many is that? No? So what are you doing here? This is my good friend Jim Padilla. Jim Padilla and I go to the same church. Our families are very aligned, and I've trained and spoken on stage with Jim many times. You guys are in for it. We saved the best for last, and so you definitely want to be here in June. In fact, I believe, where'd Chris go? I believe we have like a 3-pack thing where if you pay $40, you get access to all 3 of these events over the next 3 months. Not only that, we've got my good friend Kyle over here who's going to videotape it, and you're going to get access to the recorded content. So before you leave here today, you need to make sure that you purchase all 3, whether you can be here or not, you're going to get the recording. So, when I asked the question, how many of you have lead generation systems in place to generate enough qualified leads? Not only that, but way more qualified leads than you can possibly get to. Nobody's hand went up except for Jim. Okay? Here's the good news. Before you leave here today, I'm going to give you 3 systems. In fact, I added one last night, so I'm going to give you 4 systems that you're going to be able to implement, not next week, not next month, today, and it will literally create more leads than you can ever possibly get to. If I accomplish even half that goal, would you agree that it's worth your time here? Okay. On your seat there's a note sheet, so we give you some fill in the blanks. We give you a bunch of stuff away for free. There's going to be a boatload of homework walking out of this, but the one thing I want you to do is walk away with just one thing that you can take action on. So at the top right-hand corner of your note sheet there, I want you to put down my one thing. Because I don't know about you, I've been to lots of seminars, lots of events. You go there, you get pumped up, and rah, 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 and everything is great. And you walk away and you go, man, that was great. And then Monday comes around, and you're like, I thought of it. Yeah, I did attend it. I don't think I've done anything with it. Right? Who can relate to what I'm talking about? Okay. So what I've found is if you focus on one thing, just one, what's the most valuable thing that you can take away with today that you can take action on, you will have a lot more chance of success. In fact, if you do this every single day, get up in the morning and just read 30 minutes a day out of a book and pick one thing that you can take action on that day, how many new ideas could you implement in a year? A lot, right? Okay. But yet, how many of us have to do this that are a mile long? And we're never going to get through it, right? But if we say, okay, what is the one single most important thing on that list today that I can take action on, we can get a whole lot more done. So the question I have for you is, what is your intention for being here today? What's your intention? I'll tell you what my intention is. My intention is to give you 4 systems that you can take action on today to where I can take away every single excuse that you have about generating leads. Never again walking out of this room when you have a problem with lead generation after I'm done. I can promise you that, only if you take action. How many of you in here are action takers? Okay, fantastic. Now, how many of you are committed? Who owns their own business in here? Okay. When I'm done here, all of you are going to own your own business. So, let me ask you this. How committed are you to hit your top goals? 100% committed? There's a few of you. Okay. How many of you are absolutely 100% committed to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself? Okay. So if I told you that I have the secret bullet here today, in fact, I'm going to share with you in just a second exactly what you're going to have to do to hit your goals. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes to hit your goals, to the point that you're willing to hop on the back of a toy donkey with fire coming out of its butt, dressed in a suit like this, driving up down Sunset. Now, if this is what you had to do to succeed, how many of you would do it? If I told you if you did this right now, if you left the event, where the event's done, and you did this, all your dreams and goals would be possible. Who would do this? Just a few of you, right? The rest of you, it's like, okay, you got to do whatever it takes. Here's the point. You've decided to take an hour and 15, an hour and a half of your time out today. You will never, in your entire life, get that time back. In fact, what is the most commodity that we have? What is the most valuable commodity we have? Time, right? So since you decided to invest your time here today, what I'm going to recommend you do is to play full out while you're here. I'm going to do this. In fact, I forgot to do it before I get it. Here's some wet. I'm going to turn my cell phone off. I'm not going to answer text messages when I'm up here. I'm not going to respond to an emergency. I learned a long time ago that 911 actually exists for a reason. Okay? And they can get there a whole lot quicker than I can. Now, I've been married for over 20 years now, and it drives my wife nuts from time to time, but you know what? If we allow ourselves to continually get interrupted all the time, we never get anything done, right? Okay? So I'm going to play full out, and I want you to play full out too. So before I get started, who in here has heard me speak before? By a show of hands? Okay. Who's never heard me speak with a show of hands? Who's not going to raise their hand no matter what I ask them? Okay. So, a little bit about my background. I was born at a very early age in a little small town called Dallas, Texas. And long story short, in April of 1987, this exact month of 1987, my mom ran off with her boyfriend. And I found myself living behind this house right here in a trailer that was about the size of a queen-size bed with no windows. I was 17 and a half. The whole family scene fell apart. I was heavily into drugs, just lost. Dropped out of high school, was in the 11th grade, and literally my entire family tree was, there was just no chance for me to ever be on the stage like I am today. No chance. So if you've ever grown up in, or maybe you know somebody that's had challenges, or maybe you've gone through a challenging situation in your past, guess what? I can relate to you. Now here's the great news. I learned through actual experience that it doesn't matter what happens in the past. It only matters what is happening now and what you're going to do with your future going forward. How do I know this? Here's an article, September 24, 2010. Sacramento Business Journal did what's called a fastest growing companies list. Every year they put this out. My two ex-business partners ticked me off so much that my ultimate dream was to be here so I could mail them a FedEx copy of this frame with thank you on it, in which I did that. Here's the point. This is the year, 2009 is what this is about, but 2010 is when this was released. Was the economy great? It was crap. Yeah, we grew a company 63.9%. They wanted to find out how we did it. So they came to my office and said, how do you do that? And you know what I told them? I said, I built the best team possible. Every single person on my staff is better than me. I am not the smartest person in the room. Here's a big tip for you as a business owner. If you're the smartest person in the room, you got the wrong people in the room. You need to surround yourself with people that are way better than you in order to achieve your goals and dreams as a business owner. Now, This is not about me, this is about you. Why do I share this? Because here's the deal. I am practically homeless. I mean, everybody moved away. Okay? And here I am, building a company from, this is the third company I built from nothing to over $1 million. How did I do that? Simply this, I changed my association. I started hanging out with people that were where I wanted to go. This guy, Dave Annie, multi-millionaire, took me under his wing and started mentoring me. Started telling me, you know what, it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter, what happened in your past. It doesn't matter, that you grew up in a broken home. It doesn't matter that nobody in your entire home has ever graduated from high school, let alone go to college. It doesn't matter where you come from, it only matters where you're going. And I started to believe him. And then I started to argue with him. Because I couldn't believe that I was capable of doing that. See, self-esteem, self-confidence is everything in success. And what I learned through this experience was association is absolutely critical. You're the sum total of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. And so if you're not liking your current situation, check your association first. Next he said, you know what, you gotta read books, John. So I started reading books. I hated reading. Absolutely hated it. Hated it. Then he said, you know, you gotta listen to some audio programs. Now back then it was cassette tapes, right? And then it got to CDs. And then now we got an MP3 player. But it all comes down to what you put in your mind here. Now, it does help to have an A-team. So this is my A-team right here. My wife, Shin Mei, who we just celebrated 20 years last Thursday. Now this woman, can you imagine putting up with me for 20 years? I mean, talk about a feat. That's my hero right there. My little son Preston, who we tried for 10 years to have, couldn't have a kid, but and tried 3 in vitros, all of them failed. And we're like, we're done, and then bam, got pregnant. It was almost like God said, you know, you guys done? You guys done playing God? Great, here, let me show you how it's done. Bam. I'm like, okay, great. Older son Dylan, I could not have done that without these people. Here's the point. If you don't have a mentor, get a mentor. If you don't have a mentor, get a mentor. Over the last 25, well now going on 26 years, I've built 7 companies. First one I built was I started when I was 20. My mentor was a guy named Jay. And Jay just, it was 4 years of just mentoring, coaching. I mean, I had a lot of baggage to clean up. But I wasn't getting any results, no results, no results, no results, and he kept coaching me. And then finally, in February '94, I said, bye. Now here's the reason I'm telling you the story. If you're not getting the results with your mentor, fire them. Okay? Find somebody else. Never get yourself into a long-term situation where you can't change the game rules. If your mentor is not getting you results, fire their butt. Find somebody else. Okay? Never, ever stay working with somebody if you're not going to do the work. That's the key. Here's the deal. Your absolute 100% best effort has got you where you are right now. That's good news, but it's also great news. Because here's the deal. If you go out and find somebody who is at least a little bit more successful than you, and you actually have an open mind, you think you can get better. You bet. You bet. So if you get nothing out of what I'm going to share with you today, it's this right here. Find somebody that you can work with. Not all mentors are created equally. And that's why somebody says, how much do you charge for coaching? They always ask me this. I go, I have no idea. Well, what do you mean? I go, I don't know you. Okay? I don't even know if we're fit. How many of you take on clients that you just take on anybody and everybody? And you're looking at it going, I hate my clients, right? Stop doing that. And I'm going to show you how to create so many leads today that you're never going to have to settle for ever again. And so through that mentoring, through all the businesses that they go, I decided, you know what, I'm going to coach people. I started coaching salespeople. Along with Jim and I, we were representing a certain guy's brand, and we were coaching people and training salespeople, and I discovered, I like working with business. Eric kept telling me, you need to work with business owners. I go, I don't want to work with business owners. I hate business owners. And what I discovered is, oh wait, I don't actually have to do the work. That's exciting. You know, so I started working with business owners, and now every single day I get to wake up and work with business owners and salespeople all across the country. And it's fun. So how many of you would like to design a business for your role where every single day you've got to go do it versus, oh man, I gotta go do that. Who would like that? Yeah. I learned a long time ago, you know what? Design the life you want and then build your business around that. Design the life you want and build your business around that. And so, let's get right on into the concept. So there's 3 ways to increase your leads. 3 ways. There's probably 1,000, but there's 3 ways that I'm going to share with you today. Number 1 has to do with your inner game, which has to do with your mindset. And this is where I put the blanks on the sheet there for you. Number 2 is the outer game, which has to do with your systems. And I'm going to share with you 4 systems today that you can implement and take action on. And then finally, you can have the best mindset on the planet. I mean, you can get comfortable, get pumped up, go to the next event, get pumped up, go to the next event, get pumped up. You go, man, I'm just so fired up. Life is great. Nothing. I mean, the clouds part every time I come out of the house. You ever run across those people? They're so positive, and yet they're so broke. Okay? Because they can have the best mindset on the planet. They can be the most positive person on the planet, the most pleasant person to be around, and yet make no money. In fact, you can be the most analytical person, have the most tightest systems on the planet with your outer game, that everything just works so great. It's like, I'm reading out of a book right now called The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster by Darren Hardy. Just came out. Phenomenal book. And one of the things he talked about is, how many of you have seen those cooking shows where, you got these famous chefs and everything, and all they have to do is endorse one restaurant, and immediately that restaurant takes off. And the owner's there, and he's got everything, just right. He's got the right chandeliers, and he's got the right curtains, and everything is down. The systems are absolutely perfect. Yet, the one thing he missed was sales and marketing. Who in here knows what the #1 restaurant on the planet is? McDonald's. Okay? So even though all that sales and marketing, all that systems in place, and you got a positive attitude, here's the bottom line. If you don't take enough action, none of this matters. I'm going to give you a bunch of stuff today for free. I'm going to give you what people pay thousands of dollars to get from me. I'm going to give it to you for free. I'm not going to leave anything out. What I want you to do is take action. Can you do that?
Yes.
Fantastic. Let's talk about the inner game. And the inner game, we can't talk about that without talking about mindset. And one of the mindsets of the champion is that there's always room to grow. How many of you would agree with that statement? Let me ask you this. How many of you believe that you have potential inside of you to perform at a higher level than the level you're currently performing? Yeah, we all do. We all have room for improvement. And so it's our mindset as it relates to leads that counts. Now, I asked a question earlier. Who in here owns a business? Raise your hand again. Who knows who Jay-Z is? Okay. So here's what JC says about a business. I'm not a businessman. I am a businessman. Okay? You yourself are a business. And if you start acting like that, your income will reflect it. I learned there was a couple of people that I worked for, I was a minority partner, a 10% partner. So basically I was an employee with no authority. Okay? But I was on the hook, so they didn't have to pay me overtime. That's how it worked, right? And one of the things that 10% did for me is I looked at it as, I am a businessman. And I operated in the standpoint of being a business. And every person I ever teach this concept to totally revolutionizes their life. See, if you look at what you currently do, whether you're working for somebody, or even if you own your own business, you yourself are a business. Would you fire yourself right now? Don't answer that question. That's a personal insight question for yourself. Okay? And so I'm going to share some stuff here today that might be uncomfortable, and that's great. It's fine. I don't get paid to tell people what they want to hear. I get paid to tell them what they need to hear. Because I want you to grow. I want you to be different this time next year. I want you to achieve your dreams. And so start acting like this. Change that mindset. Here's the biggest challenge with lead generation that I find that most people have. Is they operate from a place of scarcity versus a place of abundance. They take their, they go out and they get their leads, and they got themselves 20 leads, right? And they go, oh my God, that's 20 leads, man. They set them on the table, they line them up, the cards are all nice and nice, 1, 2, 3 order, and they're like, that's my leads. That's my leads right there. Hey Joe, come on over here. Look at this, I got another one. It's right there, right? And they're like, well, what did you do? Well, I sent them an email. What did you call? Well, no, I don't want to call them. They might say no. And now why, has this happened to anybody besides me? Okay? So you got the lead, and you sent them some great stuff, and now you don't even want to follow up with them. Why? Because they're the only ones you got. Okay? And they might say no. Right? How would you like to, instead of having a small amount of leads and operating from a point of scarcity, that you have a massive pile of leads that, you know what, I just need to kick you off my list. Would that be a different call? Hey, John Pyron, hey, I want to know if you want to do business with me. I've got to eliminate you from my list today. You're either going in the deleted pile, or you're going into the thing where we can have a 10-minute phone call. I can help you double your business. Now, half of what I just said is true. Is it worth 10 minutes of your time? Yes or no, because I got to delete you right now. How would you like to have that kind of confidence when you're making your appointment setting calls? You can only do that with an abundance of leads. And so one of the things that I want to share with you right now is the mindset needs to shift, and that is you will never, as long as you're in business or in sales, you will never stop creating leads. You never, ever, 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 never have enough leads. Never fool yourself to thinking, I got enough. Build that list every single day. And that's the difference between operating from an abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset. Now, why don't most people generate more leads? I mean, there's really nothing I'm going to share with you here today that you haven't heard before. And we all know what to go do. In fact, if I said this, you know what? Laptop crash, I'd say, like, here's the one parting piece of advice. Do what you know. How come we don't do what we know? Why? Why do you think? It's easy not to do it. Right? Just like this picture right here. What's wrong with this picture? It's in front of a gym. There's stairs in the middle. There's 2 escalators. Yet they're going to take the escalator. Why? Because it's easy. The health benefit and the harder part would be to take the stairs. So here might be one thing that you can write down. Here might be your one thing. The thing that you've been putting off the most, the thing that scares you the most, the thing that you've been avoiding like the plague. Make that your one thing this week. It's like appointment setting. We're not going to go into that. Eric's going to do a great job next month. You should be here. But it's like appointment setting. It's like you have the phone, right? And it's sitting right there, and you got your leads, and you're like, I got to make that call. But then you start hiding from the phone, right? Because you don't want to make it. Why? It's easy to pick it up, but it's also easy not to pick it up. Right? And so if you can do one thing off of this meeting here today, and that is this. If you're not uncomfortable doing it, you're not taking the right action. The growth is in the fear. The growth is in the doing the things that we don't want to do so we can stretch ourselves. Give you an example. This is a client of mine. Her name is Deborah Scarpa. She owns a company called Design by Friday here in Sacramento. In April 2 years ago, she called me up and said, hey, I've been in business for 22 years. I saw you speak at Ewing, and I want to hire you. I said, well, that's great, I don't know you. So I ended up giving her, or doing a strategy session with her, and I said, you're gonna have to pay for it. So she did. We got together, gave her some great ideas, and found out in that 2-hour time frame that we matched it, that I can actually help her. Because that's my number one criteria before I take on anyone one-on-one is, if I can't help them, I won't take them on. Okay. Took her on, and in 4 months, quadrupled her revenues. Now, she's been in business for 22 years, stuck. What was the shift? Didn't happen overnight. It was literally 51 days into our relationship. I'm like, you have a resistance to sales. She goes, no, I don't. I go, yeah, you do. Well, how do you know that? I go, you keep using words like, I don't want to sound salesy, right? I don't want to come off as being a salesperson. You have a negative view of sales, and that's what's holding you back. It's a mindset shift. And so I started working with her. Here's what she wrote. They're working together. We highly recommend John Pyron for his consulting services. Our business revenue grew 4 times. Okay, got us started working on the right directions, point out things that we're not aware of. It's really helpful. Thank you so much, John. We really appreciate your help. Now, when I mentioned before, I worked with a guy named Jay for 4 years. And I kept working with him, kept working with him, kept working with him, not getting any result, right? And he just kept working with me. He should have fired my butt, because I wasn't doing what he told me to do. In fact, he got so ticked off at me one time, he says, you know what, if you continue to argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. I'm like, that is the best thing I've ever, it pissed me off at the time. But it's helped me grow ever since. Now, here's the point. Got Deborah to the point where quadrupled her revenues, and I said, you know what, I've taken you as far as I can take you. Here's what you need to do. You need to join this specific mastermind group, and they're going to more. And since then, she's 20 times her revenue. Why? Because she learned the one principle that she had not learned in 22 years of business, and that is you need to work with a mentor. You need to work with somebody who knows more than you. It's the only way you're going to push yourself. My current mentor, the only reason I work with him is just simply because I'm like Michael Jordan. If I don't work with somebody that's going to push me, I'm not going to play my best game. Just not. I will take the escalator. Okay, because that's natural for us as human beings. So that's the interview. Really good resource for the interview. To really master the interview. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Really, really good book. Excellent book. Okay? Let's talk about the outer game. And here's where it gets fun. I'm going to share with you 3 key systems that you're going to be able to implement. And I'm excited about this because I have built 5 companies now with these systems. And 3 of them, literally from scratch to over $1 million. And you can do the same thing. So check this out. We're going to talk about how to deal with your current wild clients, the ones that excite you the most. We're going to talk about person of influence. Some of you might know the term as center of influence, COI. We're going to also talk about 2 different LinkedIn strategies that will just expand your mind beyond belief. You're going to walk out of here with at least 1,000 leads before you even leave here. So let's talk about your current wild clients. Now, how do you know a client is a wild client? Here's how you know. When they call you on your cell phone, and you got a choice to make between that red button or that green button. Do you look like this guy, or do you look like this guy? Now, if you're a girl, put a girl up there, right? That's how you know. And if there's any inkling of pressing that red button versus that green button, they're not a wild client for you. And my recommendation would be to finish out whatever contract term you have with them, and either try to change the relationship or find somebody else to help them, because if they're not a fit for you, they're not a fit for you. I learned in May of last year when I hired Steve Napolitan that, the very first thing he helped me do was fire half my clients. And what's interesting is I fired half my clients and my revenue grew 2 times. It was unbelievable. I was scared to death. I'm like, you make it with it. No, I can't. I didn't understand it. But you know what? you can have a whole lot more impact with people that you really want to help versus just helping them for money. Does that make sense? Okay? Let's talk about a strategy here. So, here's what I want you to do. On your current WOW clients, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a list of your top 10. Okay? So your top 10 WOW clients. These are the clients you love. Your heart goes pitter-patter when you talk to them. Theirs does the same. They love you. You love them. You're having a great result. That's number one. Number two is we're going to contact them and we're going to survey them. So we're going to literally survey them. Now, this is a document I'll give you all, email it all to you, is step-by-step how to do a consistent survey. This is not what I'm talking about. This is something that I want to give you. You need to survey your clients for the rest of your life. You will get all the marketing materials that you need by surveying your clients. You will be able to grow and double and triple and quadruple your business by consistently surveying your clients. So here's what I want you to do. We're going to contact them with the following 3 questions. Okay, you ready for this? Question number 1. What is your biggest goal or desire right now? And you can get as specific as you want as it relates to your business. What is your biggest goal or desire as it relates to financial services? What is your biggest, or financial planning? What is your biggest goal or desire as it relates to sales? What is your biggest goal or desire as it relates to business? You can tailor-make that question to their business. Number 2 question. What are your key frustrations, issues, and or concerns? And you can say, as it relates to your business, as it relates to your family life, your life coach, as it relates to your life, your marriage, whatever, right? Custom tailor that question. What are your key frustrations, issues, and or concerns right now?
Did that cut out?
Is that question related to the service you offer them? Or is it their, because my service might only be a small portion to,
Correct. I'm going to tie the knot here in just a second. And we'll see how this is going to work.
all right.
What are your key frustrations, issues, and or concerns as it relates to your business, as it relates to whatever it is that you want them to focus on? Okay. Question number 3. If you had a magic wand, what would your business look like?
Is the projector still on, John?
Yeah, I just...
Oh, I'm sorry, I want to make sure.
No problem. If you had a magic wand, what would your business look like? If you had a magic wand, what would your retirement look like? If you had a magic wand, what would your marriage look like? If you had a magic wand, what would your internet service look like? What would your IT service look like? Whatever it is that you sell, if you had a magic wand, what would that look like for you? Now keep in mind, we're asking this to our existing clients. This is not a prospect. The reason we want to ask that is simply this. We are going to design a new product or service based on this client's questions. Or we're going to find a product or service that meets that need. Because I learned a long time ago, unless you're solving the client's problem, you're out of business. Okay? That's what we get paid for. Even the travel agent, right? Travel agent says, well, I don't solve pain. Sure you do. They hire you because they don't want to take their time to find all that crap. Because it's a pain in the butt. So that's why you exist as a travel agent, is to help them plan their trip so they don't have to take the 5 hours that they would normally take to plan their trip. So you're solving the pain of them not having enough time. See, unless we find what our client's true pain or desires are, we can't solve their problem. See? And something like this will help you go, first of all, it's a good thing to do on a regular basis. Number 1, to have a really good, solid relationship with your client. And number 2, it's going to give you some great ideas. And you'll see how all this ties in here. Give you an example. Mouse calls. A client of mine out of Nashville, Tennessee. Started working with them. Did a strategy session with them first. just to see if we're a fit. Come to find out we are a fit. So started working with them. Guys been in business 18 years. 350 satisfied clients, active. It's like, I go, well, you have 350 clients. I mean, what's the problem? He goes, I can't grow it. I have no idea how to grow. I can't seem to get new leads. And I go, really? 350 clients? No problem. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to contact your top 10. He actually was feeling more ambitious. He contacted 21 of them. And he asked them these 3 questions. And guess what? We found some pain. We found some issues. We found some goals that those business owners had. And actually, half of them are residential customers that we didn't have a product or service to meet that need. And so here's what we did. We designed 3 products, 3 different levels of service. Took us about 2 weeks to get this all done, working with the graphic designer and everything. 3 different levels of service that we weren't offering, that he wasn't offering before. Now, let me ask you a trick question. If I have 350 active clients, and I now have a product or service that they have never bought, how many leads do I have? 350, right? Now, are they just a lead? Are they just a qualified lead? They are like a super lead because they are currently buying from us or they have bought from us. One of the key one of the key literally components of sales, like the core foundation is if you buy something from me and you have a positive experience, chances are it's a whole lot easier for you to buy something else from me. How many of us are going to our clients with our top product or service, and we go there and we meet with them, and then we go back and we do the research, we do a proposal, and we go meet with them again, and they're going to think about it, right? And so we're like, okay, you got to think about it. When can you make a decision? Next week? Okay, so you come back next week, and they're like, they're still thinking about it. Right? How many of you get, I need to think about it? How many of you would like to know how to deal with that? Okay? So here's what you do. When they say, I've got to think about it, here's what I want you to say. Great. So besides from thinking about it, you're ready to do this, right? Yeah. Great. Here's the cool thing about thinking about it. A thought happens like that. So now that you've had a chance to think about it, what do you want to do? And then look them right in the eye, smile, right? And you're going to be amazed at how many people are going to say, you're right, let's do this. Okay? So never again do I want you to walk out of a situation. See, closing and sales is totally different skills. Right? And so what we did is we designed 3 new products, and now we have 350 brand new leads. And so we went and talked, and here's what we did. It was not like we actually sent them some information about it, and then we picked up the phone and called them. And in 15 days, we sold 44. In 15 days. 325 average. Most people bought that middle plan. We created $14,300 in new revenue, which is more than, almost double what his revenue was when I started working with him. Okay? So not only did we expand our existing clients, but now we're adding more value to those clients, which gave us 350 brand new leads. Now, the average funeral is 250 people. The average wedding's about 250 people. Changes a little bit here and there from year to year. Would it be safe to say that you and I know at least 5 people just like us? Is that fair? So, did I just create 350 leads for him, or did I create 350 times 5? And that's when we get into our next lead generation system. It's this. But before I do that, so how many of you want this form? Okay. Here's what I want you to do. Without your mobile phone. Well, like I said, put it away before playful out. You're not allowed to respond to other texts at this moment, okay? Okay? They're cheap. Open up your text message app. to type in your name, first name, last name, and your email address. And then, I want you to send it to this phone number, 916-741-0596. Now I'll have my assistant, because I'm going to give away a bunch of other stuff, so you only have to do this one time. Everything I'm going to give away today, I'm going to put it in like a big old Dropbox folder, because it's a lot of data, and you're going to need to download that, because it's going to be too big to send it to you via email. All right, so to recap, this first system, your client is your number one source of leads. If you're in a position to be able to create a new product or service for them, great. If you're not in a position, maybe you work for a company that they have a set number of stuff, right? That exercise is still going to be critical because it leads right into this next system, person of influence. So a POI, so everybody in here has a network in terms of people that you know, people that you have influence over, okay? Everybody you know has a network of people that they have influence with. But not everybody's a POI for you. A POI, this is where you want to put this here, a POI is someone who has your target market inside their network, your target client, your perfect client inside their network. Now, if you were not here in August, I taught the sales to marketing, or marketing to sales funnel, and I shared step by step how to do a perfect client exercise. You can access it, we have the recording, right? So just talk to Chris, and Chris will get you the recording of that. You want to go watch that. So I'm assuming at this point you know exactly who your perfect client is. And now what we need to do is we need to go on a hunt to find at least 4 POIs that we can develop a good, solid relationship with. So the first step you want to do, make sure I got you want to survey your top 10 clients again. So survey your top 10 clients. Every time I talk POI, people go, well, where do I start? Well, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's go talk to our perfect client, our wow client. Why do we want to talk to our wow client? Because I find, I don't know about you, the more I talk to my client, the more money they give me. Without me even asking, right? I just get to know them on such a level that I'm constantly looking to solve their problem either with my product or service, or more importantly, and more profitably, with somebody else's. Okay? So we're going to create some categories. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to go and sit with our perfect client. Here's what I would recommend you do. If you haven't gone and taken them out to coffee in a while, take them out to coffee. Maybe take them to lunch. Get to know them better. Know what they're working on. And then tell them this. It's very simple. Tell them this. Say, hey, you know what? I'm looking to put together like a rock star referral network. Okay? I mean, I'm looking to put together an A team. And I need your help in doing that. So there are certain vendors that you pay right now that I have other clients that probably would want to know those vendors. So if you don't mind, I've identified a couple of different categories I want to ask you. Who do you use for your bookkeeper? Who do you use as your attorney? Who do you use as your internet service, your telecom service, your cell phone provider? And I mean, the list can go on and on. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for at least 5 to 10 vendors from that client. Now here's the cool thing. Once I do this with at least 10 clients, and I get at least 5 vendors from each one of them, how many do I have? 50, right? Every day, if I'm going after a business owner, every business owner has a bookkeeper. Every business owner has a CPA. Every business owner has an internet service provider. And here's what I learned a long time ago. The bookkeeper that they're using, my client's their client. My client's my client. Me and the bookkeeper should connect. Why? We're going after the same client. Chances are they have another client just like mine. And I love this is my wow client, right? I want more of them just like these guys. And so I'm going to ask them, who's your bookkeeper? Oh, it's Mary Smith. Great. How do you like Mary? Is Mary good? Is Mary responsive? Now here's the most important question to ask them. If you were in a hunt again today for a bookkeeper, and knowing what you know about Mary, and you had a choice between Mary, Fred, and Sally, would you rehire Mary? And look at their body language. If they go, yeah, the answer is no. Or they might say no. And either one of those answers are good because now you have somebody that you can refer the new bookkeeper that you're going to develop a relationship with. How many of you know if I give you a referral, you're probably going to give me one? Right? So I just created an opportunity there. But let's just say she says, no, I love her, man. I'd be hired in a heartbeat. Ching! I get a little star next to that person, that bookkeeper's name. And I'm going to do this methodically through all my clients until I got a list. Now, I'm only looking for 4. And then what I want to do, and for the sake of time, I'm going to do this. I explained this to well over 2,000 times now. And so I decided, you know what, I got smart one day, and I said I should create a video versus explaining this again, right? And so these are hidden on my YouTube channel. You can't find them, but I'm going to give you access to them for free. Go through and watch video number 1. It's going to explain the POI strategy. Video number 2 is going to give you a strategy for what to do and how to set up this relationship, a reciprocal referral relationship with that POI. Exactly step by step how to do it. And the short simple of it is, we're going to contact them and go, Mary, John Pyron, you and I have Joe as a client. Joe loves you. He says you're the greatest person on the planet. And I thought, man, I got to meet this greatest person on the planet. Because you and I are going after the same client. So how about this? How about I buy you a cup of coffee, get a chance to know you better, maybe we synergize and we're a fit, and we can help one another out. Are you interested in growing your business? What do you think Mary's going to say? No? No, I'm not interested. No. Of course she's going to say yes, right? So we're going to meet with her, and then what I want you to do is follow this step by step in here. And literally, all 3 of the companies that go from zero, from nothing to over $1 million a year, this is the only strategy I had. I didn't have anything else. How many of us sit back and wait for organic referrals? Well, guess what? When you can't eat, and if you don't sell something, you can't go and buy stuff, you can't sit back and wait for organic referrals. And I hated cold calling. I just absolutely hate it. I still don't hate it today. I won't do it. But this allows you to not have to do that. Okay? Aaron Outfield. What's funny is this guy called me yesterday. He was like, I'm like, I finished my slide. He calls me, and I worked with him for over a year. He owns a company called Searcher Magnet here, one of the top SEO providers in Northern California. He teaches at Hacker Lab, has written lots of books. Unbelievable guy. Taught him everything I'm teaching you. This guy takes this POI strategy and he puts it on steroids. Now, it's like a core system that he actually sells and teaches. And he's like, hey, you know what? He runs this strategy on me. That's when he goes, hey, you and I are going after the same client. I'm like, really? Tell me more about that, right? And he proceeds to walk through. He goes, you know what? You and I should get together for coffee. I'm buying. I'm like, this sounds awfully familiar, right? And so we're going to get together. Why? Because we are going after the same client. And so do this exercise because it will generate more leads. You will not be able to stop the amount of leads that this is going to create for you. So again, if you haven't done it yet, text your name and email address to that number and we'll send it to you. Now, one of my favorite, absolute favorite strategies. This should actually be illegal. How many of you think about a client that you absolutely love right now? Okay? And let's just say I go to that client and I say, hey, you know what? Let's just say Jim's my client. I say, Jim, tell you what, can I use your cell phone for a second? Because I want to take your cell phone and plug it into my computer here and I want to download all your contacts. Would you be okay with that? Probably not. We'll talk later, right? So we can't do that. But one of the things I learned a long time ago is, you know what? How many of you are connected directly to your client on LinkedIn? Now, don't raise your hand if you're not, because you should go connect with your client on LinkedIn, because you get access to their Rolodex. By being in the first tier connection on LinkedIn, you get access to their Rolodex. I'll give you an example here. Let me do this real quick. There's that, and let's duplicate it. There we go. All right, let's do this a different way. We know how this is going to work out, but figure out where the screen is for this. Oh, there we go. All right, so check this out. My LinkedIn profile. A POI that I've been doing this with since 2007. His name is Jim Caniris. So Jim Caniris. Okay? Started working with him in 2007. Now in the top 25 Northwestern Mutual nationwide. Now, here's the cool thing. Jim's got 500 connections. I'm in the first tier situation with Jim. Okay? Now, I know who my target market is. I'm looking for a resident. Actually, let's just do let's do this. Now, so Jim's got 201 of my clients, my potential clients, he's personally connected to. Okay? Now, here's what I want you to do. When you identify your POI, you've gone through the POI strategy, you're looking for 4. Okay? 4 people. Why only 4? Why only 4? Relationships. What do relationships take to really make them great? What do relationships take? Time and effort, right? Can I invest time and effort to 10 on top of everything else that I'm doing? Probably not. But I can invest in 1 a week, right? And all I do with Jim is I get together with Jim every single month. In fact, it's tomorrow at 3:30, because tomorrow is the 4th Thursday, at 3:30 in the afternoon at Panera Bread on Howe Avenue in Northrop, to be exact. You guys can join us if you want, right? And you can watch this happen in action. And all I do is I go to Jim and I go, because it's just once a month, I go, Jim, how did it go last month? It's been great. And he catches up with me. We don't sit there and we go, here's your leads, here's my leads. I catch up with Jim. How's it going, man? What's going on in your life? Tell me about your wife. Tell me about your kids. What's going on in your personal life? Now, here's the key. What can I do to help you grow your business over the next 30 days? And he'll tell me. So now I know what to look out for Jim. And he'll ask me the same thing, and I'll tell him this. And what's funny is I learned this freaking strategy because he was doing this on me for 5 years before I figured it out. I'm like, how do you get access to my contacts? You know? And so I started doing it to him, and it works. And so I go and I search his contacts, and I pick out 10 of the people that I think will be a great prospect for me. And I will print this out before tomorrow, and I'll go to him, and at the end of our meeting, I go, listen, slap the sheet down, I go, on these people, who on here do you actually know? Not that you're just connected to. Who do you actually know? And Jim will say, I know that person, know that person, know that person, know that person. And here's the magic. Here's the wonderful thing about our human brains. He starts thinking about people that are not on that list, because I just jogged his memory. And I always walk away with Jim 6 or 7 referrals. Every single time. And he whips out his cell phone, he texts me their contact info and all this stuff. And it's a beautiful thing, because it's a system. If you don't have this in place, follow every single step that I gave you here today and get this in place for yourself. You will have more referrals than you can ever possibly get to. Over the last 6 months, of all the referrals Jim's given me, I've contacted 2 of them because I didn't have time to get to the others. And both of them became really good clients. How many understand, how many would rather have a cold lead or a referral? Right? And this is a system for getting referrals and not waiting for organic referrals. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Your initial contact with them, what are you saying other than that you know him?
On those videos, it's going to teach you step by step exactly what to say, but here's the short skinny of it, is, you know, John Pyron, Sally is your client. Sally referred me to you. Sally's my client. And I figured, since Sally's your client and Sally's my client, that you're probably going after some other clients just like Sally. Is that a fair assessment? They're going to say yes. So I got to thinking to myself, if you're going after a client like Sally, and I'm going after a client like Sally, you and I should sit down and have a cup of coffee to see if we even like each other, number one. And number two, to see if there's an opportunity for us to work together to help each other's business grow. Are you open to me buying you a cup of coffee and getting to know one another to see if we're a fit? And they're going to say yes. I've not had one single person tell me no. And we're going to get together and we're going to have a conversation. I'm going to get to know them. And in those videos, I'll give you step-by-step questions to ask, how to set up a scenario where you create a baby step. I'm going to find my absolute best client, my number one client, and I'm going to give them my number one client as a referral. Now, why do I want to give them my number one client, my golden egg here, as the first referral I give to them? Why?
Because they'll say good things about you.
They'll say good things. Why else do you think? Excuse me? Yeah. Well, here's the deal. My best client had very little chance of losing, number one. And number two, I'm going to set up my best client. I'm going to say, hey, listen, I'm evaluating this vendor. I need you to vet him for me. I'm going to buy you lunch as a result. Yeah. And so I want you to go through their spiel, go through their deal, whether it's a fit for you or not. I need to see how they work with you. I need to see their follow-up. I need to see their contact. Are they pushy? Are they a jerk? You know, I need to know all that. And I trust you. I don't know them enough to trust them. Okay? And I'm going to take a baby step with that person. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to give you a referral. You're going to do the same thing for me. Now, if they're not willing to do the same thing for me, bets are off. We're going to find another bookkeeper. And we're going to go through an exercise where I'm going to contact their person. They're going to contact my person. Probably get a client out of both. And then we're going to get back together again and revisit that. And if everything went great, my client gave me great feedback, I've got a good, solid referral partner now that I can develop a long-term relationship. And Jim Camaris, right? I have literally sold over $10 million in products and services from the referrals this guy gave me. My number one client right now came as a result of a referral from this guy. So this system works really, really well. To help you create the list, go to your clients, find out who they're using. They're going to tell you. It's not like they're giving you a referral. They're giving you a vendor. They're going to be a lot more open to sharing with you that information. Okay? Next is person of influence. Once you bam. Okay. Once you have the 4 people of influence that you have, now it becomes a system. Here's what I would recommend you do. Here's what I do. I have a standing appointment with them every month, just once a month. And here's the cool thing about doing it the way I've described it, is one referral is a referral for all 4 of my network partners. Because we are all going after the same client. I got them from my client. Does that make sense? And so a referral for my client, I only have to come up with one. And it's not like this quota thing. I'm just naturally looking to build my client. That's why you want to visit with your clients on a regular basis. Every single, what I would recommend is pick your top 12 clients, and every single quarter you call one of them. So one a week, you're going to call a client once a week. And you're not going to bug them because the only time they're going to hear from you is once a quarter. and you run this POI strategy on them. You ask them, hey, you know what? Who do you know? Hit their LinkedIn profile. You want a very great referral tip or a lead generation tip? Before you ever meet with anybody ever again, whether they're a prospect or they're a client, hit their LinkedIn profile before you go. And print out 10 people that would be a potential client for you. And then you say, hey, before the meeting's done, you say, hey, you know what? Do you happen to know these people? By the way, is there somebody that you're looking for that I can connect you with? See, it's all about helping people, right? The more you think about, okay, what can I help my client with, right?
How do you feel about having your competitors on your LinkedIn profile? Should that be something you should?
Oh, hell yeah, I want my competitors on there.
You do.
I bet. It gives me access to all their connections.
I know that, but what if our connections are looking for more options?
It's great. I love competition. Okay? Competition sucks. Okay? It's only good for the consumer.
Right.
And so here's the deal. Instead of competing, dominate your sector. Add so much value to your sector through content. See, we're all afraid of, oh, I don't want to give away my secrets. I don't want to give away my secrets. Guess what? There's not been a new thought on this planet in 10,000 years. If I want to learn to do something, I just go to Google and type it in, and I can find out right then and there. So am I concerned about putting out my best content? No, because, it's already out there. Now, if you're a financial planner, financial advisor, you got it even better because you have a whole team that vets all this stuff and creates a whole library of resources that you can send out already. You don't even have to create your own stuff. Okay? And it's required as well, right? And so, yeah, I want my competitors on there. And then I want to hire a virtual assistant because I don't want to spend my time, and I want my virtual assistant to mine their database. And now, I'm glad you said this because it leads me into this. So a webinar I did with Penny Pearl last August. It's the second one in the series that we did. We charged $49 for it, maxed it out. We created a 103-page ebook to go along with it. I'm going to give it to you. It's 2 hours and 48 minutes, and she shares literally step by step how to turn your LinkedIn profile into a fire-breathing magnet. Literally, you can take the webinar, what I tell my clients, I give this to every single one of my clients I work with one-on-one, because the first thing I have to do is fix their LinkedIn profile. Put this video here, put your LinkedIn profile here, don't ask questions, just do what she tells you to do. And you will have a magnet as a profile. Here's the deal. You know you have a magnet as a LinkedIn profile if you're getting at least 15 new connection requests from a target client every single month. If that's not happening organically, you got to fix your profile. And you're not going to be able to leave here now going, I don't know how to do it. Here you go. Let me give this to you. Watch it. Share it with your friends. Make a comment on it. Okay? Again, you want the webinar? Text your name and email address. This number. Okay? Now, there's been 3 times now that I said, okay, text the following, your name and email address to this. Why have I done that during this time that I've been here today? Why? Huh?
Gotta need our contact information.
Exactly.
Guess what?
Say it again.
Oh, he's getting our contact information.
Okay? Lead by example. Here's how you lead by example. Every single one of us have great clients. What do you think, how do you think you can add the most value to your client?
Share them in your program.
Huh?
Share them in your program.
Okay. Sure, go for it, man. I'd love that. That'd be great. By helping them earn more revenue. Every single one of our clients are business owners. They are in business to make money. Remember what I said in the very beginning? What did Jay-Z say? We're all a business. So whether they have employees or a business, everybody's looking to generate more revenue, more income, more quality of life in their life. So share everything I taught you here today. Share it with people. Heck, teach it. After you share it 3 times, it's now yours. Take ownership of it. Okay? Share this with them, and what's going to happen is you're going to start creating your own lead generation magnets. And here's the key. when you survey your clients like I taught you how to do earlier, with those 3 questions, and you pick your top 12 clients and you do it with 1 client a week, you'll hit it every quarter. Every single time you do it, you're going to get a pulse of what's working in the market, what's the need in the market with your client. So instead of guessing what works as far as marketing is concerned, you're going to start developing what works. And you're going to be able to create content or find somebody else's content that can help meet your client's needs, your pain, your frustration. Because here's the deal. How many of us have gotten an email from somebody and we're like, the tagline, the subject line was just perfect. We're like, that's curious. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to actually get in there and read it. You read it, and then you actually click on it, you go and register. How many of you have done that besides me, right? That's a magnet. They gave you something of value that you can consume in exchange for your contact information. So you're with Wade, right? So you're going after business owners, right? Okay. Enterprise or small business?
Small business.
Small business, okay? So as a small business owner, what are they more interested in doing? Growing their business, right? Do you think if you shared with them, even if you recut everything I shared here today, created your own video, your own article on how to do this, step by step, and you shared it with that business owner, do you think that they would be appreciative of that? Do you think that they might want to have a conversation with you? You see, it doesn't even have to be your own stuff. Here's the point. If you want to grow your revenue, if you want to create more leads, sit down and think about your clients and go, what can I share with them that has value? And you share it with them. Right? So there's 3 ways. We got enough time to take. All right, now it's time to take action. So that's the inner game, that's the outer game. Any questions about what I've talked about so far? Great. Time to take action. Let's do this. Enough people here, this is going to be a fun exercise. Let me close with this, my favorite exercise. Okay? And so it's called a what level exercise. And it goes like this. I'm going to share with you, I'm going to say good morning. And I want you to respond to me, good morning. And we're going to call that a level 6 on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of energy and enthusiasm. Everybody understand that?
Yep.
Okay? So let's try it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Awesome. Thank you for your job. You're the absolute best group I've had all day. Let's do this. Let's up it a little bit more. A little bit more energy, a little bit more enthusiasm. Let's call this a level 8. And you have my permission to smile this time if you want. You ready? Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Full energy, full enthusiasm. This is a level 10. I mean, when I think of a level 10, okay, think about the most exciting time you've ever had in your life. Level 10 is, I mean, absolute nuts, absolute crazy, you know, jump up, dance, whatever it is you want to do. In fact, look to your person to your left and right. Their entire future depends on how you act. Okay? No pressure. Okay, is everybody ready?
Yep.
Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Good morning!
Good morning!
Fantastic. Now, why did I do that? Simply this. First we played it a 6, then we played it a 10. First a 6 and then a 10. The question I have for you is this. Over the last 30 days, if you've been showing up in your business or your job, what level have you been playing at? Now, if you're like me, you play at a high level. I play at a high level all the time. My wife has to remind me to take a vacation, just simply because of my personality. I go, vacation? Oh, that's right, I should take some time off, because I love what I do. But let me ask you this. You may be playing a high level at your job, but what about the relationships that are the most important to you? What level have you been playing at? Maybe your health, fitness. Here's the good news. Who gets to decide what level we play at? We do. So if you can get yourself to do this one thing, and that is every single day, decide what level you're going to play at that day. And you can play at a higher level by doing 2 things. Number 1, expanding your comfort zones. Number 2, taking some new action. Okay? One of the new actions that you can take today is do that one thing that you wrote down here today. Commit in the next 24 hours, you're going to do that one thing. Number 2, Share this, what you've learned here today, with at least one person over the next 24 hours. It'll make it deeper within inside you. And then lastly, book a strategy session with me. Okay? Now, I'm not going to go into this. It's a client of mine that just did a strategy session with me, just tripled her business. Okay? On my website, you go book a strategy session, it's $995. But I'm going to give you an offer here today that's going to, everybody in here can take advantage of. Because if I'm not a fit, if I'm a fit for you, great. I have some programs. If not, I will know somebody who can. Okay? I'm going to also, if you sign up today, I'm going to give you a bonus. You're going to be able to attend one of my 2-day workshops anytime. As long as I'm alive, I'm going to be doing this another 30 years. So you get a voucher to attend a full 2-day workshop. All the information is on the website. Those of you know who Rebecca Richards is, right?
Yes.
Okay? But in my LinkedIn profile, she writes an entire testimonial about what she's gotten out of that 2-day event. Kyle, you went to the 2-day event. Was it worth it?
Absolutely.
Okay? Did you get a lot out of it?
Absolutely.
We did a strategy session, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a lot out of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay? I'll guarantee it. You don't get anything out of the strategy session, I'll give you money back. I promise you, I've never given one refund yet. Didn't have to. Because you're going to get a lot of value out of it. If you want to do it, $495, or if you want to make payments, it's fine. $199 down, 4 times 99. Okay, I'll give you the bonus after you pay it off. I'll give you the strategy session right away. And if you don't pay me out after the strategy session, you've got a lot of value, then guess what? It's no problem. I'll just delete you from my database and we'll never hear from you again. Right? Okay? But you're not like that. So if you really want to step your game up, let's sit down and chat. Okay? How you can do that? I'll leave these sign-up forms at the back table. Pick one up, fill it out. It's only today. So if you want to do it, take advantage of it before you leave. If money's an issue, come see me. Okay? Let me close with this. Behind every effort is, behind every success is effort. Behind every effort is passion. Behind every passion is someone with the courage to try. The difference between interest and commitment is when you're interested in something, you do it only when it's convenient. When you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results. You guys have everything that you need now. Did you guys get a lot of value out of it?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot for sharing your time with me.
Let's get John Hale. Thank you.